rapidly through the building, due in large part to polyethylene cladding on its exterior.
I'm remitting grief and anger. It's just anger, really, that nothing has happened.
Emma Dent-Coad was the local Member of Parliament in West London at the time of the blaze and decries how little has changed since.
They are still approving buildings with one staircase, tall buildings with one staircase. The regulations aren't tight enough, and there's a whole generation of inspectors and building controllers and chartered surveyors that just doesn't exist to check these buildings. So we've got nowhere, really. That's the feeling around here for sure, is that all this happened and we haven't got far enough. 5 years have passed, and we could have a Grenfell 2 tonight.
There have been some changes. The cladding used on Grenfell Tower has now been banned, and the British government says it's stepping up efforts to ensure other blocks are safe. But victims' families argue it's taken far too long for those efforts to pick up pace. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, ministers and officials from 50 countries are gathering in Brussels to discuss long-term military support to Ukraine. There are reports authorities in China thwarted a protest planned by hundreds of bank customers by using alerts on their COVID-19 health code apps to restrict their movement. And the UK government says it's planning a replacement flight to Rwanda after the first planned deportation plane carrying asylum seekers failed to take off. That's the latest feature story news. Laura Macon-Isherwood reporting.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, getting things fired up on a Wednesday morning. Always fun because we are joined by our big friend in his castle high atop Chewelah. It's Mr. Mike Bentz.
Well, it's pretty nice up here at the castle today.
Yes, really? What kind of morning you got there?
Oh, the sun's out. I mean, blue skies. I haven't seen blue skies, I don't know, Michelle, in what, a week?
Way far too long. I know. I woke up on the other side of Chewelah on my high mountain, and I had blue skies too. I was like, hallelujah.
And Scott, just to make you feel like you're homesick,
Okay.
they got 6 inches of snow in Sherman Pass last night.
No
way.
Wow.
And they were saying over in Sandpoint they were going to get up to 24 inches of snow up on the Schweitzer.
What?
That's crazy.
What is
And the whole world is floating away.
Uh-huh.
If you've seen the news at all. Yeah.
One of our listeners, he's over in Omak, and he's a big fan of driving over Highway 20.
Yeah.
You know, through the pass up there, Washington Pass, which is just beautiful. It's very alpine.
Oh,
And they keep getting snow up there, too. But, you know, that's probably, I mean, in middle of June, that's kind of rare for up there. I've driven through the pass, you know, in June before and seen snow on the side of the road. But the fact that they're getting new snow, kind of crazy.
Yeah. We're heading over to Kalispell this weekend, and you know, the Going the Sun Highway. Have you ever been on that in Glacier Park?
I have not.
Oh, it's kind of one of those iconic. If you ever get back out here and you've got the time, I would do it. Well, they still don't have the road open because they get getting snowed on. And keep in mind, at the top of the Logan Pass, where you crank over the Continental Divide, the snow up there gets 125 feet deep.
Wow.
So, you know, you see these pictures with bulldozers and excavators as they're clearing it out. I mean, it's a pretty, I mean, I've spent a lot of time in my life over in that part of the world. It's pretty iconic to go up in there. But there's so many yahoos wanting to go up there anymore. You have to have a reservation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everybody wants out now. We're tired of all these lockdowns and distancing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and they still have Yellowstone Park closed because of all the big floods that are through there.
I got to see a clip a couple days ago of a giant bridge getting taken out. So there's going to be, they could have problems the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah. They'll take, you know, what they call the North Road that goes from Cook City, Montana to Gardner, Montana. It's the only road open in the wintertime. in the park. Most of it's, I won't say most of it, a lot of it is gone. I mean, it's in the Gardner River.
Oh,
So they'll be lucky if they'll have that even one lane open by the time, because the construction season's really short when you get up that high in that part of the world. So yeah. Anyway, so we got snow on the mountain and we got sunshine in the valley.
Nice.
And the golf greens are beautiful. Yesterday we had over 200 golfers on the course.
Taking advantage of better weather.
Oh yeah. Well, it was raining a little bit, but we had a whole group from Idaho come over. We love those Idahos. Bring those dollars to Washington.
All right. Well, let's look at that forecast for today for you. 71 degrees for your high temperature. Now, this morning, a mix of clouds and sun, which Mike's talking about, but it will give way to cloudy skies this afternoon. Let's see, daytime high 71. I got that. Tonight, 25% chance of rain, down to 52. Partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies overnight. For your Thursday, 73 and 53, mostly cloudy, 20% chance of rain. Your Friday, get this, you guys, 81. 81. First time you've crossed 80 degrees. 53 for an overnight low. You will have cloudy skies and a 5% chance of rain. Then your weekend, let's see, 71 for Saturday, partly cloudy with a 22% chance of rain. Sunday, 69 and 49 with a 25% chance of rain and those clouds. It's funny how being on the opposite side of the continent and our weather matches so closely. Except today I have sunshine all day long with a high 79, tonight down to 54. And then the rain's come in here for me too. I've got rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it looks like possibly Sunday too. So not as soggy over here though. Definitely.
You give it time. Those northeasters will start coming in, and you'll have to get a kayak to get out of your house.
Well, the whole state's mostly water. I mean, it really is. There's water everywhere. And the mosquitoes like me a lot because I'm what I was told by a local is, well, you're new. After the first year, they'll back off a little bit, but they can tell.
That's because you're such a sweet guy.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll take that. Anytime. All right, there's our weather for today. Lots of stuff going on tonight. I know our local superintendent, Mr. Parents, is all about getting people to tonight's meeting. Should we start there, Mike? Is that okay?
Yeah, well, that's fine. And I know that Michelle's put on the PSA for the meeting tonight, but they're hot and heavy in the midst of trying to figure out what to do with the middle school. And they've had a couple of people take a look at it, but they can't really do anything until they get the public input. And so tonight there's a special meeting at 6 o'clock at the district office to receive evidence and comments for and against the property, advisability of the proposed sale of the old middle school property at 106 West Lincoln. Personally, I think it's a great deal to take that asset and turn it into something else. And I know there's at least one firm that's been looking at it that wants to convert it over to offices, and then I don't want to say a craft thing, but small business type things, incubators, I guess is what they call that. And so there's really a lot of traffic around doing something with that particular building. And I think it's about time, don't you?
Yes. One of my questions would be, because I was wondering if it would get torn down or if it would be used as is. If it wasn't safe enough for the kids, or if there was, I'm not sure what the problem was with it there, how is it safe for people?
Well, I don't think it is part of a safety issue because it has asbestos in it. But the asbestos can be remedied. I think as far as the structure of the building, from what I understand, it's very solid. It's a good building. Yeah. And then, of course, you had a declining enrollment on top of that, in Chewelah. So, you just don't have you didn't have a need for the space.
It was funny because when I was I went there as a kid, and it was so hot. Oh my gosh, that thing would heat up like an oven in the spring and the fall. It was really miserable. And then as an adult, I came back to visit, and I went, look, they put tinfoil on all the windows. And then I came back 5 years later, and I was like, oh, they got an air conditioner in every window.
Well, parts of the gym was still being used. Being used, actually.
And some of the outbuildings too. Some of the outbuildings too.
And the proposal I saw was the gym would stay as a public facility, which would be great, because I know the wintertime the pickleball people do there. There's yoga classes that are done there. I mean, it's pretty well utilized throughout the year. So I thought that was a great aspect of selling the building, keeping the public use asset as a standalone for that particular purpose, and still refurbishing or rebuilding the building for other issues. And and it's got parking, and it's, as you know, it's got that big park on the one end of it, the old ball fields and stuff. So, yeah, no, I think, plus the school district, has keeping it heated and everything else. I mean, it costs thousands of dollars just to sit on. And
throw this out is that if it's a concern to people and stuff, show up. Because if you don't show up when they decide what they're going to do with it, you don't have a right to gripe, even though people always do.
Yeah, that always.
Show up.
Yeah, that's kind of been my life since I moved here. The people that gripe at me the most are the ones that never show up for anything. Or if you ask them to do something, they all of a sudden don't have the time, or
All right.
That's the way people are, though. I had a friend of mine tell me once, Mike, just people are people, get over it. So.
All right. So
anyway.
We got that covered. I had one other public service announcement before we set you loose, and that is support for the Colville Food Bank, Stevens County's biggest yard sale, coming to Northeast Fairgrounds June 25th and 26th. Admission for this is $2 per adult, or a donation of a non-perishable food item. Kids are free. All admission proceeds benefit the Colville Food Bank. To obtain a rental application, you can call 509-680-3850. That's 680-3850 if you got some stuff you want to sell and join it. Space rental is for $20 for a 20 by 20 space. Larger spaces available by request. That's kind of why we were throwing this out early. It is the 25th and 26th. Still space available. Takes place at the Northeast Washington Fairgrounds. Again, June 25th and 26th. And that number, 509-680-3850. All right, we got weather.
I have another public service announcement.
Go ahead.
Hey, Scott, they're getting fuel at the airport. You know that, don't you?
Well, I figured they were because, last year before I left, I saw the extra aircraft up there from DNR, the helicopters for fires and stuff. So I figured
since you've left, they've taken where those helicopters are parked, and they've leveled all that out with gravel. They're actually, DNR is going to house 3 firefighting helicopters there this year. Good. And they've got the fuel tanks in. And so when you fly in on your private jet, you can refuel.
Wow.
If what I understand, it's, relatively speaking, it's on sale in Chewelah than it is in Deer Park or Colville. Land a jet in Colville.
Wow.
So, but on Monday, this coming Monday at 10 o'clock, our mayor, Greg McCunn, and our city administrator, Jim Caruso, the singer.
Yes.
That we've had on the radio. They're going to be there at 10 o'clock for a ribbon cutting. And they're inviting anybody and everybody that has an interest to stop by the airport and celebrate the opening of the fuel tanks.
All right.
So, hey, it's a major thing, but a minor deal, if that makes sense.
All right, so if I can pick up an airplane on the cheap and I fly in from Maine, I can top off my little Cessna and fly back home. Is it self-service?
It is self-service.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. It'll be set up, from what I understand, it'll be set up on like a credit card system,
Sure.
And there's 2 gas. There's what they call av fuel and jet fuel, because the helicopters primarily use jet fuel. So you can either come in on your Piper or you can come in on your Gulfstream. Either one of those 2 planes you can come in on, and we can fill her up, or you can fill her up.
All right. So somebody with a hot rod could even go up there and get some jet fuel for their car.
Jet fuel, yeah. Well, that I don't know.
Yeah. Let's not give too many.
I'm not going to say yes because I don't know.
Well, if it's self-service, you're never going to know.
Oh, that's just a bad idea.
What'd you say, Michelle?
I said that just sounds like a bad idea. Like, let's not give too many people too many ideas because, I know some people around here. They'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna try that."
I like going fast, and that's the first thing I thought of. Sorry, ignore me.
Okay, all right. Well, call me ahead of time when you come in on that jet because they're really annoying when they fly over my house.
Okay, I'm gonna buzz you. I'm buzzing you for sure. I might even drop something out of the plane.
Is it blue?
Yes.
Okay. Blue ice coming out of the plane.
Oh.
Okay, well, let's move on. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, this last Saturday, they had an event in the park called SOAR. I have no idea what that stands for, other than it featured hang gliders and paragliders. It had racing snowmobile teams I could talk about. They had all kinds of vendors. And from what I could see, because I drove by there, because, I can't get out and walk a whole lot, it was really successful. And they ended up with really good weather. So I don't know, Michelle, if you had a chance to go over there or not, but the park looked pretty full to me.
Yeah, I did not. Saturday is literally the only day of the week I don't have to get up at 4 a.m., so I had a lot of stuff at home I needed to catch up on. But no, I was not able to make it out to that, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what's happening in town.
Okay.
Well, first of all, on the chamber side, I've always got to remind people about chamber bucks. And Scott, you know how valuable those are.
They are.
Okay. All right. You can get your chamber bucks at the chamber office or at the independent. And keep in mind that 100% of what you end up getting goes back into the community because it has to go to the merchants that accept it. There's about 40 some odd merchants in town that accept the chamber bucks. And this chamber is unique in the sense they don't take a cut. So if I buy $100 worth of chamber bucks, I get $100 worth of chamber bucks. I don't get 90 cents on the dollar or whatever the cut would be. And if you purchase them, they don't expire. And, because they're like a gift card. So they can't have an expiration date on them. Whereas if the chamber gifts them, then of course we can put limits on how long that goes out. The other thing, we're coming to the end of the month, that Life Flight, you can get Life Flight through the chamber if the people you work for are a chamber member. That's what qualifies you to get a little bit of a discount if you want to get Life Flight. So, and anybody that's lived in a rural community for any time at all understands the value of Life Flight. And it's not that bad. I think it's like $70 a year, right in that neighborhood, but don't quote me on that. And then moving on, you remember Tasty, Scott?
Yes.
The kids program?
Yes.
I always thought that this is one of the better programs that that the community does in the summertime. That there are some families that are food challenged. I'm kind of trying to think of the right words to use there, because of course the schools don't offer any of the lunches or anything through the summertime. So they developed a program a while back called Tasty. It's done through the Chihuahua Faith Resources Group. And on the 17th, they're going to have a silent auction and fundraiser at the brewery. It'll go from 3 in the afternoon till 7 in the evening. And some of the auction items I'm aware of is golf for two with a cart at the Chihuahua Golf and Country Club. That alone right now in today's world is probably worth a couple $100 to give you an idea. 6-bottle wine basket, handmade jewelry, unique works of art, and a lot more. This is, in my opinion, one of the more valuable programs you can contribute to help the kids not go hungry throughout the summer. Or you can mail donations to Tasty at Post Office Box 378, Chihuahua 99109. So, and 17th must be Saturday, am I right?
No, Friday.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
Friday.
Yeah, it'll be there Friday from 3 to 7. And on top of that, you can stop by and have a cold brew.
You're right about the importance of that, and it's got to be even tougher to pull that off with the way food prices are going.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, I read something just yesterday that the average monthly costs for a household in the U.S. has gone up $400 over the last year.
On some of the things I eat, and at least over here on the East Coast, let's just pick like a bag of chicken nuggets for the kids, something Michelle probably feeds her kids.
Right.
So you get the Tyson bag of chicken nuggets. They were always $7.99 on sale, maybe $8.99. Over here, that little bag of chicken nuggets, $14.99. I was like, okay, that's unhealthy anyways. I'm not going to eat it.
So how much is gas in Maine?
We're doing good. We're right at $4.99, so we're still hanging in there. I didn't go out yesterday, but I'm sure over the next few days we're going to creep over $5 again.
Yeah, I went to Spokane yesterday, and the least amount was $5.25.
Michelle, you're kind of short, so if you get a big ball cap and put some of your hair in your face, you can sneak down at lunchtime and have lunch with the kids.
Well,
saying.
Okay, well, and then
I have to give him that though, because I'm the only one he can pick on for being short, because I'm the only one smaller than him.
Awesome, it's awesome.
Well, and Scott, when you fly in this weekend in that jet,
yes,
Colville's having their rodeo this weekend.
Oh, yeehaw! I'm actually the clown.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, so we'll expect to see you there either Friday or Saturday or Sunday, right?
Yeah. As Michelle said, though, I'm so short you won't really see me.
He gets stuck in the barrel.
Yes. Just curls of hair coming above it.
Okay. All right. Well, then one of the my favorite activities that I believe Chewelah does very uniquely is summer theater school's back.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, the theme will be the audition, fun and creative. It will be July 11th through the 16th. It's $65 a person from K through 12. It's where anybody and everybody that is probably 6 to 18 in that neighborhood can get a taste of theater. And if you've never experienced a performance put on by the people that train these people, it'd be worth sending your kids to. I mean, you have to get a hold of Janet McLaughlin, and you can get a hold of her at 509-995-7285, and it'll be at the Chewelah Center for the Arts over, on 3rd Street. So.
And Janet has so much knowledge and so much experience, and man, you talk to kids that have graduated from Chewelah, my daughter included, and it is one of the highlights of their childhood life is doing theater with Janet. And I know she's got a big support cast, including a Sharon and a lot of the kids that came back to Chewelah after college and stuff like that. They enjoyed it so much. They go down and help with the kids now too, and it really is a great community thing. And I'm so happy that after she retired as a teacher that she continues doing that, because I know in my life growing up, and I grew up in Chewelah, theater was big then too. We had Sherry Frizzell, and it was a huge effect on my life. So theater, very important. It's a very important part of the arts for kids.
Yeah, see, and Loretta and I have always felt that when our kids were growing up, any exposure to the arts makes them a better and more well-rounded person as they become adults.
Yep.
And I used to interview a lot of people for the financial services industry, and I would take somebody with a strong arts program head and shoulders above somebody that came out with a business degree. Because one is inherently you can learn it just by repetition. The other one, it has to be driven by your soul. And if you're dealing with people, that's a way better route to go. So anyway, it's a great opportunity, huge opportunity that not all communities have by any means. So
very true.
So, yeah.
And give us the start date on that again.
Give us the what?
Start date on that again.
Okay. It's July 11th through the 16th. It's $65 a person. And you need to get a hold of Janet at 509-995-7285.
7285. All right.
Okay. All righty. And then since we got a little time, I'll continue promoting that over the next couple of weeks. So you want to be like at the golf course. You want to get so many kids coming, you have to limit the enrollment.
There you go.
So I want to move to the golf course, and, we have our junior camp that we do every year. Last year we had 85 kids attend. This year, because of staffing issues, we had to limit it at 50, and it was actually filled a week ago. But then I was in there the other day, and I asked Mike Hall, who's the golf pro that's running that, and I said, So how we doing on the golf camp? He says, well, I'm up to 52, but don't tell anybody.
Just couldn't say no.
Yeah. So I'm not sure we turn anybody down at this point, frankly, but that starts on Tuesday. So if you have an interest, I would give them a call at 509-935-6807 today and see if there is an opening. So.
And you've had some kids roll through there that ended up becoming golf pros and placing in nationals and stuff, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Anna Davis went through that, but she may have way back when. But Anna Davis is, of course, the junior that won the National Amateur Championship down in Atlanta, and she's just a phenomenal golfer, and she's a summer resident in Chihuahua and winters in San Diego. So, it's a good time. I mean, I've been involved with it for the last 4 or 5 years. And with that limited enrollment, you're going to have better instruction because it's a lot different, having to take care of 50 some odd kids versus 85 kids. And they go anywhere from 6 years of age to 17. And they learn anywhere from etiquette to how to swing a club and putt and everything else. And then on Friday, they get to go out and play the 9-hole course. And which is always fun. That's kind of one of my favorite days. Even with my bum leg, I'm going to be out there on Friday running one of the golf carts. And sometimes the kids will last 3 holes, sometimes they'll last 9 holes, but it depends. At the end, they get hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, and pop at 12 o'clock. Oh, nice. So some of them want to get there faster than they want to play golf. But it's a good time. They station the kids so about every half hour they move to a different station so they don't get bored. And it's got, of course, adult supervision all the way through because there's nothing more dangerous than a 8-year-old boy, especially swinging golf clubs.
Oh yeah, stand back.
So, and then as far as the golf course is concerned, it's like I said earlier, it's in beautiful shape. It's fantastic, actually. The rain has actually helped us a lot. In fact, we hardly even running our sprinkler system at this point in time. And we have people coming in that say that the greens are championship quality. And normally that won't happen until late July or early August. And so, I mean, Ron May and the crew have done a phenomenal job on that. The Rusty Putter, we've got our patio open. It's all got all new patio furniture. It's actually relatively comfortable today versus what it was, say, last year. Umbrellas on everything. It was a big, huge upgrade that we went ahead and did through the winter to make it more accommodating for people to come out there. I mean, it's got cushioned area. It's got high top tables. It's got tables that can sit 10. I mean, it's pretty cool. It really is. So from there, let me go to the Creative District. The most exciting news on the Creative District is last Friday, I got an email from the Washington State Art Commission. They went ahead and approved a $4,000 grant for us to take artists into the schools to teach different disciplines in the arts.
Cool.
And so we're pretty excited about that because I applied through a program that kind of applied but didn't. In fact, they called to interview me, asked me, why are you applying for this grant? I said, well, the rural schools, especially, the arts have kind of taken it in the shorts for the last several years because of funding issues. And one of the requests that we've gotten from the creatives, the artists that belong to the Creative District, is we'd love to figure out a way to teach our discipline to kids. And so I got a hold of Jason Perrins, the district superintendent, and we talked about it a little bit. And Jason says, Mike, we can make this happen if you can make your end of it happen. So I applied for this grant. The way Jason wants us to do it is because so many of the kids are in multiple sports, the only time it's feasible is between the sports. There's about a 1-week break between the sports. And we got to keep it right after school or the last period of the day at school. Otherwise, once the kid's gone, they don't come back. We've got bus issues, all that type of thing, especially in rural schools. So we've got a lady by the name of Jamie Thompson, who's She's a fine arts major. She's got a master in fine arts that is going to run that program for us. Then what we're looking at is 1 week of painting, 1 week of graphic design, 1 week of Kat Brooks is going to do writing, authors, that type of thing. And then if we have enough money left over, then we're going to do a week in photography. Oh. So, and so we're pretty excited. Let Jason know last week, and he's pretty excited. So we're going to get together with him after the 1st of July, show him what we've got tentatively set for a curriculum, and then make sure that matches there, and then we'll figure out how to get it scheduled into the schools.
Now, am I right? Because I know over the past few years with budget cutbacks and stuff, they lost the drama at the school. So that's why it's so important that Janet is still doing that with the kids. They lost the art class too at school, didn't they? Am I correct in that?
Well, some of it. They in fact, the art teacher is retiring this year, and he's looking for one, but it's very limited in what they can offer, and a lot of that, of course, is just funding issues. So what this is designed. The way I told the Western Arts Commission, this is designed as kind of like a primer of the different disciplines that we can offer, and hopefully get the kids excited about it, and then figure out a way to plug them in down the road. And they really liked the program. I mean, I
bet they did. This is what they're all about. So I bet they loved it.
Yeah, well, and it's something that is easier to put in place in a rural school like Chewelah than it is, say, in Edmonds. Because you got a smaller audience, it's easier to control, and frankly, the money goes a lot farther than it would in some of the bigger communities. Yeah. And so, we're, and it's a win-win. It's a win because the kids are going to get exposed to the art, and then it's a win because the artists are going to get paid. Which is, something we're really been trying to strive for the last couple of years, is to recognize the value of what they bring to the community. And that really showed us on the first Thursday this last time, the Creative District did its own gallery at the Huff Cultural Center. We had 3 featured artists, one from Kettle Falls, one from Chewelah, and one from Newport. And all of them were just ecstatic of how things went. And we got the first Thursday is coming up tomorrow. And this time around, we have Chris Davis is our featured artist. And she does design, jewelry design and stuff like that. And then I don't know who, at the top of my head, I don't know who the other 3 or the other 2 people will be in there. But we're hoping for, a great turnout tomorrow night as far as we call it the gathering. And it's where we learn from the creatives. And so we encourage them to come, and Chris will be the featured artist, so she'll talk about what she does. But then, the people from the Creative District will visit with each other and say, okay, what do you want to see in the community? And that's what we're trying to do as a Creative District, is to get these people, like, the totem pole in the park, the Boy Scouts did years ago. We're in the process of getting the bids together, finalized on that, where we're going to refinish that. And we've already got at least one person that's decided to help out on the donation on that. But that wouldn't have happened if one of the artists that didn't come wasn't actually the chainsaw artist, or she works with wood. And by the way, it was unique because it was a she, and she does beautiful work. So we're hoping that we can get that taken care of once the rain stops, and it'll be completely refinished and hopefully look like it did in 2004 or whatever. I think that's the date it was put in. So a lot of cool stuff happening on the Creative District side. We're going to start our fundraising here about the 1st of the month for our grant. We got the Capital Arts grant that we're going to do at least 2 murals on, and then improve the big kiosk we built over by the park. That's going to be completely refinished and some improvements made there, some new signage in town. All that we've got until June 30th of 2023 to get it done, but this is Chewelah, so we only have a limited amount of time to get those outside art projects done because of weather. So, I think a lot of cool stuff going on. I mean, towards the end of the month, there should be a big bike rally going on here. I haven't gotten a lot of information on that yet, but it'll probably come out, my guess is next week. So I miss anything, Michelle?
No, I don't think so. Have we got any more people on our end to get the chamber at the farmers market? I know the farmers market's been up and going.
Yeah, the way we're going to do that is, and the answer is kind of.
Okay.
The Creative District's going to team with the farmers market, and then there's 3 volunteer spots that'll be every Friday. And so I know the Creative District will take at least one of those volunteer spots every week. And then we're going to promote it as like KCHW. If you want to be there, then you can promote the radio station and everything else and take a spot. So the one change we're going to make there is, if as a business, if you want to volunteer to work the farmers market with the chamber, then you'll be able to promote your business and things like that while you're there at the same time. And we've Brad Schaefer, who's the manager of the farmers market, is going to set up and take down the big tent for us. Because that thing, takes 2 men and a small boy to put it up and down. And so it'll make it more feasible for people to be able to come in and work that. So I think the answer is proof's in the pudding, but I'm pretty sure by the next week we'll have no problems with that at all. It's just getting the word out. The other thing that's coming up is we're going to be featured in the Inlander Summer Guide. That's a relatively expensive publication to do something in, but Joan Thompson she approached me with the idea of, can the Creative District be involved? And then, of course, because of the chamber affiliation, the chamber, the Creative District, and the farmers market are going to basically be the anchor tenants for that magazine. But that I'd open it up where the businesses can afford to put something in there. So I think we're going to take 2.5 pages of that summer guide. There's going to be all about Chewelah. So that should be showing up, I think, next Thursday or Friday. And their distribution points in Chewelah, from what I understand, don't hold me to this, will be Sporty's, the brewery, and Safeway. And all they ask is at least 25 inlanders go out per week. And I think between the 3 of those, that probably won't be an issue.
Easy. Yeah. Easy.
Yeah. So, that's a big win, because it's over $2,000 to do just what we're doing. And none of these organizations could stand on their own and do that. By teaming up and collaborating, we're able to afford to make that affordable for us. So that's one of those teamwork things that Chewelah is pretty famous for, and actually I think it's going to continue being that way. So,
well, there's a great opportunity now because of the gas prices for people to do shorter. People are going to be doing shorter trips, and Chewelah is a beautiful place to go to, and there's a lot of stuff to do. So I'm really thrilled. All these events coming up and stuff. It's a good thing.
Yeah. It's. I was actually visiting with Loretta last night. We were talking about the problem we're starting to have now is, as these events are starting to come back after COVID, the volunteer pool is actually shrinking because so many people do so many different things. And so we really need to really ramp up our getting the newer residents, and there's a lot of them involved in whatever community activity, whether it's the Chewelah Center for the Arts, the Chamber, or the Creative District, or the Lions, or whoever it happens to be, because that's really the fuel that makes this community grow.
And if there's somebody listening that wants to volunteer for an organization, Mike's really connected through the city. So send Mike a message through our website, or email us directly, kchwradio@yahoo.com, and we'll get that to Mike, and he can talk to you and find out what your skill set is or what you're interested in, and hook you up with one of the many, many nonprofit groups around our town and Stevens County.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And Michelle probably, as she gets her feet more cemented, I'm sure she's going to be looking for more volunteers and people to do shows.
I definitely am. And as far as I've been getting a lot of questions as to whether or not I'm going to be doing another festival this summer. And without more volunteers, I'm not going to be able to make that happen by myself. So if you guys want me to bring some more fun things to town this summer, please get a hold of me. And if you're interested in any of the things that Mike is talking about, you can reach out to me anytime. I know I see a lot of you around town, whatever. But if you want to just reach out to me, even on my Facebook, I can send the word along and we can get some things moving. So that'd be good.
And I know one of the big holes we have yet to fill at the public radio station is with the passing of Grumpy John. We lost our classical music host, and his show was quite popular. And that is a hole that's going to be tough to fit. It's hard to find somebody that's got a huge classical music collection and the wherewithal to put themselves out there on the radio and play it. Now, there's syndicated programs we could play to fill that hole, but it's always better to have somebody local doing it. And quite frankly, most of those syndicated programs, super stuffy. Where Grumpy John was, he's making classical music fun, and that's what we're looking for again. So if you've got a classical music collection, know somebody that does, and maybe we can convince them to come on the radio and share it.
All right.
All right, we covered a lot of stuff. Is there anything else, Mike?
Probably.
Probably.
But the older you get, the more fleeting it becomes. So I'll interrupt if something pops into my brain.
All right, then a big round of applause for another Wednesday nonprofit roundup with Mike Bentz. There you go. And if you've got a group, an organization, a community organization, and you want to get your news out there, don't forget Wednesdays are the perfect day for that. We really don't, donate this first hour of the show, the first 45 minutes of the show for that. And if you'd like to, you have some information you want to get us, want to be part of it, just contact us, like we said, through the website, kchw.org, northernlightspublicradio.com. Go to the Contact Us page. There's a form you can fill out. It goes directly to our email, or email us directly at kchwradio@yahoo.com. Did I get everything right, Michelle?
Yeah.
All right. Are you sure I got everything right?
kchwradio@yahoo.com. And I'll check it every day.
Right. All right. And I say that because...
You are the biggest fool I have ever known.
That's right. And I'm proud of it. All right. Let's switch to some fun stuff before we go to our break. And I call it fun because I get to host it. Other people, they don't think it's all that much fun because that we put them in the hot spot. And I'm sorry, my mouse just died, so bear with me for a second here. I think I can do this. I think I can. I think I can. Yes, here we go.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right, we got some trivia for you today. Michelle Williams versus Mike Bentz. Are you ready, my fine friends?
Bring it on.
Ready as I'm going to be.
All right, let's see. First question this morning I have for you. Americans will use 400 millions of these this year, and it is very, very important to hygiene. Americans will use 400 million of these this year, and I'm guessing
that's what I was going to say.
We probably only have one factory that makes it, if I'm guessing right.
Toothbrushes.
Oh man, you're on fire, Mike Bentz. You're on fire. That is not the correct answer, but you are so hot.
Toothpaste.
No, you're getting cold.
Toothpaste.
There you go, toothpaste. Michelle just giving you the wild run. All right.
You can't even hear me. It just keeps dropping me.
Oh,
you did drop there for some reason.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what else I got here. Since 1990, did you guess correctly, Michelle?
No, I said toothpicks.
Ooh. Since 1990, average length of one of these has grown from 11 months to 16 months.
The average life?
The average one of these, since 1990, has grown from 11 months to 16 months, and it has to do with couples.
Marriages?
No. That 11 months.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about you, Scott.
I know you were.
Oh, my goodness. Has to do with
11 to 16 months.
Say that again, Michelle.
Counseling programs?
No.
It has to do with couples.
Yeah.
It has to do with couples, people that like each other.
Ooh, man.
All right, I'm going to give up on both of you.
Courtships?
Dating.
Go, Michelle's got it. I'll take courtship, looking for engagement, but that's close enough for what we do here.
Okay.
When the inventor of this beverage took his first sip, he was quoted as saying, "Oh, come quickly, I am drinking stars." Name the beverage.
Coca-Cola.
The year was 1668.
Oh, that's a little early for Coca-Cola.
Coffee.
No, it is an alcoholic beverage.
Oh, it is. Oh. Whiskey.
No, sir.
Beer.
Michelle?
Rum?
No, think fancy.
Champagne.
There you go. There you
Ooh.
go. Sneaks in with the champagne. All right, good job, Michelle. In a year, the average one of these will travel 12,500 miles. It will travel 12,500 miles. I'm trying to come up with a good hint.
A satellite?
No, it's something.
Car?
It's something that people will use. To me, it's a little claustrophobic.
Airplane? No, that's not right.
Yeah.
Train? Subway?
No, sir. It's
say a
not
city
a
bus?
motor vehicle. Well, I can't say that. It is kind of motorized.
12,500 miles. That is claustrophobic.
Yep. Big hint, only goes up and down.
Elevator.
Oh, was he quicker, Michelle?
That was too much of a hint.
That's what we call a giveaway here in the trivia world.
Yeah.
Around 100 years ago, less than 20% of homes had one of these.
Bathroom.
Toilet.
You're warm, but it is not a bathroom.
Oh.
Laundry room.
No, ma'am.
Running water.
No, sir. Around 100 years ago, less than 20% of homes had one of these. I don't even have one right now.
Okay. 100 years ago.
A garage?
It wouldn't be electricity.
I still don't have one. Wish I did.
A garage?
If I had it, I wouldn't use it very often, though. But it's nice when you want to use one to have them. And don't forget, I said you were correct when you were in the bathroom.
Well, a toilet?
Stand-up shower?
I don't have a toilet. I just have a hole in my floor.
Ew.
A bathtub.
There you go, bathtub, Mr. Mike Bentz. All right, coming through in the clutch. 15% of us don't do this because we fear it. We fear
Fly.
Fly.
Say that again. Fly?
Yeah.
No.
Fly.
Has to do with health care.
Oh, see a doctor.
You're warm.
Go to the dentist.
There you go, Michelle. Sneak in and grab him away from him. All right. Roughly 24 people are killed by what animal each year?
Mooch.
Well, not quite 24. A type of animals. I'll even take the place you would find these animals. 24 people killed by what animal each year?
A rat.
No.
A lion.
No, it's a very common animal.
Rattlesnake.
No, people eat this all the time.
A cow?
Yes, Michelle, you're excellent. 24
that.
people killed each year by cattle.
Darn that rodeo.
Yeah, that's rodeos probably.
And they're
Yeah, I
worried.
thought that number would be higher, actually.
Yeah. A certain percentage of them are college kids, you know, that cow tipping thing.
Oh, my Lanta. And they're worried about the wolves, right?
Yeah.
I think the cows can take care of them. Just like sneak up on them at night.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to name a phobia, and you tell me what it is. We're going to start with Mike. Mike, you get ambulophobia, fear of walking, or the fear of vehicles.
Fear of walking.
It is the fear of walking. Michelle, pogonophobia, the fear of beards, or the fear of trees?
Say it one more time.
Pagonophobia.
Pagono?
Pagono, P-O-G-O-N-O, phobia. Fear of beards, fear of trees.
I'm going to say trees.
Oh, it is the fear of beards.
There's really a fear of beards. I can't. Okay. The only time I'm afraid of a beard is when it's on a woman.
Oh, man. I've seen that, by the way. Just saying.
It's becoming more and more common.
Is it?
Just saying.
Wow.
Weird.
All right. I'm going to stop right there. I could get in trouble. Yeah. Let's see. Mike, back to you. Ometaphobia. O-M-M-E-T-A. Phobia. The fear of soft surfaces or the fear of eyeballs?
Eyeballs.
It is the fear of eyeballs. Don't touch that. Michelle, ergophobia. The fear of work or the fear of sudden movement? Ergophobia.
Sudden movement?
It is actually the fear of work.
I need to brush up on my Latin or something.
Yeah. That's why I moved to Maine. Mike, batophobia. The fear of bats or the fear of being close to high buildings?
Bat, like B-A-T-O-phobia?
Yes.
I'm going to say high buildings.
It is high buildings. They're never what they sound like.
Right.
Right.
All right.
Tricky.
Michelle, dendrophobia. The fear of trees, the fear of cold foods, or the fear of dandruff?
Dendrophobia?
Yeah, dendrophobia. Could be dendrophobia. Yeah, dendrophobia.
Trees?
It is trees.
Trees, yeah.
This one's came up before in this game. Triskaidekaphobia. Triskaidekaphobia. Fear of spiders, fear of the number 13.
Ooh, I'm going to say the fear of the number 13.
It is the fear of the number 13.
Fear of expensive crackers.
Triskaidekaphobia. I think I'll just give you that one, Michelle. All right. Is octophobia the fear of the number 8 or the fear of sea creatures?
I'm going to say sea creatures.
Yeah.
All right. Michelle?
Yeah,
guess?
Sea creatures.
Octo, as actually, this one actually is what it sounds like. It
sounds like 8.
Number 8.
Okay.
All right.
Can never
Trick
tell.
question. We're going to end with this. Pretty tough. All right. Question. A man comes home after a week-long vacation and sees that his freezer had been off for some time because of a power outage. Even though it's on now, okay? So, question. Man comes home after a week-long vacation and sees that his freezer had been off for some time because of a power outage, even though it's on now. Everything's frozen. So how did he know?
Because it's frozen. I mean, there's still going to be liquids of some kind in there, frozen.
Kind of warm, and I don't think either one of you will get this because this is kind of stupid.
Let me think. Let me think. This is one of those, like...
Yeah, I was going to say.
This is one of those dates on the calendar and keys from the piano riddles, isn't it?
Everything's frozen, so how did he know the power was off?
Frost.
No. Something to do with ice.
The ice is melted? It was flat?
Everything's...
There, I'll take that. Melted and flat. It's all one big solid clump.
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we'll have local birthdays with Michelle Williams, and we'll have some other fun stuff. We didn't make bits and breaks on this segment, so we'll work that in too. We got some cool stuff to share with you. And more fun with the odd news, Mr. Mike Bentz and Michelle Williams and myself, Scott Allen. So we hope you will stick around right here in Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7, and we will be right back.
listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah Valley, Deer Park.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, June the 15th, 2022. I'm Mike Clifford. National law enforcement groups are joining the chorus of Kentuckians who are calling on the U.S. Senate to pass meaningful gun safety measures.
A bipartisan group of senators is working on specific legislation after announcing an agreement to support red flag laws, boost background checks, and increase mental health resources. Kentucky Republican Senator Mitch McConnell said Tuesday he'd support a bill that follows the agreement. Kim Craven with the National Association of Women Law Enforcement Executives says her group has been advocating for measures that prevent people with a history of violence or domestic abuse from getting firearms.
We have a lot of research at our fingertips that we can reflect on and come together and create programs and strategies to reduce the number of gun deaths that are occurring across our nation.
Last week, U.S. House lawmakers passed the Protecting Our Kids Act to raise the age to buy semi-automatic rifles from 18 to 21 and create federal laws against gun trafficking, amid other reforms. Only one Kentucky representative, Democrat John Yarmuth of Louisville, voted to approve the bill. In 2020, the Commonwealth had the 13th highest gun death rate in the country, according to the Giffords Law Center. Nadia Ramlagan reporting.
And new research suggests that reports of skyrocketing youth crime are not only unfounded, but also are fueling calls for stricter punishments.
Data from the Sentencing Project shows the share of crimes in the U.S. committed by young people fell by more than half in the past 2 decades. It also decreased in all major types of offenses in 2020. Given the stress young people faced over the past 2 years, report author Richard Mendel says he wouldn't be surprised if future data reveals a pandemic-era increase in youth crime, but he contends that a temporary rise shouldn't be used to justify returning to get-tough approaches.
This is not a moment to be panicking about youth crime, especially if that panic is going to lead us to embrace solutions that we know the evidence shows does not work.
According to the report, juvenile detention and transfers to adult court can worsen youth outcomes. Instead, Mendel encourages reforms that help drive young people away from delinquency. These include reducing reliance on youth confinement and making stronger investments in social and mental health supports in schools and communities. Mary Sherman reporting.
CNN reports Yellowstone National Park will remain closed to visitors at least through today. That's due to dangerous flooding conditions, which have prompted park evacuations and left some and surrounding communities trapped without safe drinking water. CNN notes abundant rainfall and rapid snowmelt combined to produce up to 3/4 of a foot of water runoff. This is PNS. Older Americans are dying from drug overdoses or suicide at much higher rates now compared to a decade ago. That's according to the latest America's Health Ranking Senior Report. It comes from United Healthcare.
The report found suicides have increased by 13%, depression is up 9%, and drug deaths among people over 65 have doubled in the last 10 to 12 years. Jeanette Zanipatin, California State Director for the Drug Policy Alliance, says these last few years have been especially challenging.
So the pandemic didn't help in terms of folks using substances in isolation, not having access to treatment. This age group also tends to view treatment and mental health a lot differently than younger cohorts.
I'm Suzanne Potter.
The latest community census data shows Michigan's child poverty rate remains at 19%. Groups that advocate for kids and families say it's time to raise the state-earned income tax credit.
Michigan residents are grappling with inflation, high prices for food and gasoline, increased cost of childcare, and other basic needs. So Monique Stanton with the Michigan League for Public Policy says the census figures show now is an important time to put money into working families' hands. She notes nearly every aspect of children's lives improves when their parents are on better financial footing.
The amount of the tax credit that you get increases based on the number of children that you have, and it's also impacted by what your particular income is. In Michigan, we have a rate of only 6% of the federal credit. That's one of the lowest rates across the country, and we have an opportunity to substantially increase the rate.
Stanton says lawmakers are introducing increases of 20 to 30%. She notes children of color have higher poverty rates, roughly 2 to 3 times higher than for white children, and the EITC is one strategy to reduce child poverty rates equitably. Emily Wolke reporting.
Finally, our Jonah Chester tells us as fewer people in Indiana are opting to go to college, the state's Commission for Higher Ed is releasing policy recommendations.
A new report from the Higher Ed Commission finds only about half of the high school class of 2020 enrolled in college. Sean Tierney with the commission says there are a few steps the agency is recommending to address the decline, including automatic enrollment in Indiana's 21st Century Scholars Program for eligible students.
Only about half of eligible students sign up for the program. We want to expand that and help these students prepare not just when they're seniors in high school, but in middle school to take that step into college.
The report says the enrollment rate for 21st Century Scholars is 81%, far outpacing the state's average. Among the recommendations it makes is increasing the Franco-Bannon grant for low-income students.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported, heard on radio stations big and small, your favorite podcast platform, and find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
KCHW is online at kchw.org. Listen to the live stream, find out about station events, memberships, local weather, and volunteering. You're listening to KCHW 102.7.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. You've got Scott, Mike, and Michelle along with you this morning. And before we get to local birthdays, we want to do some shout-outs to some people that joined us for the first half of the show this morning, at least on Facebook. We had Ron, Marion, Carrie, and, I guess I'm missing one of them, I know. Oh, and Deborah. All right, and Marion always leaves the nicest comments. She said, have a great day, you guys. Thanks for setting the tone for my day, as always. So thank you, Marion, for always tuning in. And let's just go ahead and give them all a round of applause for tuning in. Watching us ham it up on the radio. And Michelle Williams here with local birthdays.
Yes, yes. Can you hear me okay? I kind of adjusted my volume a little bit.
Sound good?
Perfect.
All right, very good. Well, everybody out there, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Ty Washington and a happy anniversary to Warren and Susan Rose.
All right, very, very nice. And then to Mr. Mike Bentz, who has our celebrity birthdays for today. And good luck with the first one.
Chinese leader is 69. That was easy.
Cheater.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping, is that right?
It sounds good.
Jinping.
Okay, he's 69. Ooh, one of my favorite guys in the world, Jim Belushi, is 68.
All right.
I'll get an applause for that.
Well, I thought maybe you had a Jim Belushi joke or something, but I'll give you some.
Well, I've got a little bit of trivia. I mean, he's still acts, but he's getting well known as having one of the largest high-quality marijuana farms in Oregon.
You go, Jim.
Well.
Oh, okay. Just thought I'd point that out.
Thanks for sharing. All right.
All right. Well, Julie Haggerty from Airplane, boy, I'm getting old. I remember that. Is 67.
One of my favorite places to grab sound effects from is Airplane.
Is it? Okay. All right. Okay, Helen Hunt is, my screen just, it just took off. It went through the top of my computer.
Gone, huh?
Yeah, now it's back.
All right.
Okay, all right, you must have hexed me.
I did.
Okay, well, Helen Hunt is 59. Courtney Cox is 58. Rapper-actor Ice Cube is 53. Leah Remini from King of Queens is 52. Neil Patrick Harris is 49. The only person on here, I have no idea who it is. Sterling Jarens from the Conjuring films is 18. And, of course, we all need to know the celebrity kid Northwest is 9.
Okay.
Feel sorry for that kid.
That one out. Sorry. 1775 is where we start off today in history. It was the Second Continental Congress voted unanimously to appoint George Washington head of the Continental Army. Jump up to 1785. First fatal accident in aviation history occurred when two French aeronauts attempting to cross the English Channel from France to England in a balloon passed away when their balloon caught fire and crashed to the ground.
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't seem quite as painful because it was 1785.
That's true.
All right. 1846, United States and Britain signed a treaty settling a boundary dispute between Canada and the United States in the Pacific Northwest. You mean we could have gave up some of our ground there in Chewelah to
It could have, but it sounds of things, yeah.
No.
1864, Secretary of War Edwin Stanton signed an order establishing a military burial ground, which became Arlington National Cemetery. On to 1923, Baseball Hall of Famer Lou Gehrig made his major league debut with the New York Yankees. Let's see. 1992, Vice President Dan Quayle, just saying it's funny, he erroneously instructed a Trenton, New Jersey elementary school student to spell potato wrong during the spelling bee.
Every time I write potato, that comes to my memory.
Yes, you remember that one, huh?
I remember that one.
Oh, yeah, he'll never live that down. 2002, near-Earth asteroid 2002 MN missed the Earth by 75,000 miles. That's really close, folks, even though it doesn't sound like it. About one-third the distance between the Earth and the Moon.
Woo.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a little too close.
Yeah.
Yep.
2007, Bob Barker ended his 35-year run as the host of CBS game show The Price is Right. My favorite Bob Barker moment, of course, is when he punches Adam Sandler. See, it's snowing here in Maine. You see that? All right, 2007, American artist and inventor Casey McMahon announced the latest creation, meat shorts.
Oh man, this whole thing could go so many different directions.
Yes. Yeah, McMahon's previous inventions included the CompuBeaver, a computer housed in a dead beaver.
Well, you're living in Maine. You probably know that already.
I have one.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see. And then 2012, Nick Wallenda, by the way, of the Flying Wallendas, if you've never heard of it before, became the first person to successfully tightrope walk over Niagara Falls. Wow.
Holy moly. Have you ever been there? Like,
I did not stop on my way.
You're close enough to go, so you should. But I tell you what, the roar that comes off of that waterfall is deafening. You can be 2 feet away from someone and not hear them speak. I'm serious. So the concentration that person, that's insane.
Wow. All right. Special events. You get to keep going, Michelle.
All right. Today is Fly a Kite Day, which is great because there was 3 or 4 people on my way into town this morning. I was like, go fly a kite. Rude drivers. Anyway, Justice for Janitors Day.
Ooh, it's a good day to put super glue on the toilet seat.
Oh. I have lots of friends in Spokane that will love this. Kiss a Wookiee Day.
I have something specially prepared for this. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Listen.
Chewie, we're home.
That was as many Chewbacca roars as I could find and put together before the show.
That was fantastic.
Thank you. I've got one more. Here we go. It's a pretty good one. All right. Also the same sound I make after eating sauerkraut.
Yeah, well, no sauerkraut for you, Maine man. It's Lobster Day.
Lobster Day?
It is. How appropriate for Scott. But be
All
careful, it's also Megalodon Day. So
Ooh.
make sure you
Sounds
send
dangerous at the ocean today.
you send someone else to go get your lobsters, okay?
Okay.
You can take a picture though. It is Nature Photography Day.
Excellent.
And World Elder Abuse Awareness Day.
Be nice to me and Mike, Michelle.
I'm trying. Worldwide Day of Giving.
Oh. All right. And you kind of gave it to everybody by telling them to go fly a kite.
They deserved it. They deserved it.
All right. Number of the day, Mike Benz.
Oh, it's 27,000. Average cost in dollars of a wedding in 2022 up roughly from 24,000 pre-pandemic.
All right.
That's insane.
Is that
That's a lot of money.
Michelle?
Not even close. No way.
I like thrifty people. Mm-hmm. Wow. Let's see. Let's move on to bits and breaks this morning. And I've got a few here as you guys navigate to yours. There was only two on your prep sheet for today. But I have some actual notes here, and these are notes that were recorded by doctors. And we know how well doctors write, so some of these could have been misinterpreted. The first one is on the second day, and this is for you, Mike. On the second day, the knee was better, and on the third day, it disappeared. The patient has been depressed since she began seeing me in 2017. Patient has no previous history of suicides.
Okay.
Patient's medical history has been remarkably insignificant with only a 40-pound weight gain in the past 3 days.
Holy moly.
She is numb from her toes down. I like this one. While in the ER, she was examined, x-rated, and sent home. Patient's skin was moist and dry. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Patient was alert but unresponsive. All right. I don't want to see that, doctor. She stated that she had been constipated for most of her life until she got a divorce. Hey, wait, that's my ex-wife. No. All right. This patient has 2 teenage children, but no other abnormalities. That's a good one. All right, let's go back to that whole food thing. Is that your phone, Mike?
It is, yeah, but it's taken care of.
Okay, that whole food thing, Michelle, and go with bits and breaks.
All right.
Okay.
So, you've heard about crimes against food, right?
Yes, like sauerkraut.
Okay, sure. But what about using ketchup as a base for pizza or pasta sauce? I've seen that. People that put ketchup on their kids' spaghetti noodles, like you are ruining them for food for the rest of their life. Or they're going to figure out what spaghetti sauce really is, and they're going to be very angry with you.
I'm not going to say out loud that I've done that. Well, I was out of pasta sauce.
Crimes against food.
It had to be red.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do you put ketchup on your hot dogs or your steaks too?
No, I'll skip that one. That would be a crime. Well, okay, I think I have put ketchup on a steak before.
Ew.
Really? Ooh.
Just to
No,
try.
I'll put ketchup on a hot dog.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think a hot dog has to have ketchup, doesn't it?
Well, purists say it's got to be mustard. And sauerkraut.
Right. Although if you're going to use ketchup for anything, it might as well be a hot dog because they're both equally disgusting.
Yeah, but I use organic ketchup with sriracha sauce.
Oh, fancy ketchup. So clearly you don't really like ketchup either. She's like, no, it needs to have something else in it to be good.
Oh, okay.
Or overcooked mushy rice. I think this is something we
I
can all
agree with
agree
that
on.
one.
Yeesh.
I don't think you can hurt rice.
Yeah, you can by eating it.
No.
You cook it until it turns into couscous.
Anything else you guys have in your head that just totally ruins food when you do it to it?
Ketchup on meatloaf.
Yeah.
I agree. There ought to be tomato sauce and lots of bacon.
A1 all the way.
Hey, really? Hey,
yeah.
what?
Oh, it's so good.
I'll have to try it.
On meatloaf?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm telling you.
Right.
Also, A1 on brats. Super good too.
The problem with that is the meatloaf.
It depends on who makes the meatloaf. You don't have the person that puts ketchup on their spaghetti noodles make the meatloaf. Okay. They don't know what they're doing.
I had a mother-in-law. She'd make a meatloaf, and then you had to crack it open like it was crab, and then you had to like husk it out because it was like a football.
Oh my goodness!
It was crusted, right?
I guess you could put ketchup on that if you wanted.
If you could get everybody not to eat it, you could take it outside afterwards and use it as a kickball.
Nice.
Yeah, and that, have you ever heard of meatloaf soccer?
I have now.
Only in Maine.
Yeah, of course you haven't. I made that up. All right, dumb questions customers have asked retail workers with Mike Bentz.
Oh, okay. Well, we've all had that customer who says, hold this while she shopped. Unfortunately, this was her infant. Oh, okay. What about that customer that asks if cheese comes on a quesadilla?
Only sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay. What about that one that comes up and say, what are French fries made of?
Ooh.
Are they from France?
Sweet potatoes.
Are they really French?
They couldn't be American, that's for sure.
Okay. What about that? That person comes with one less tool in the shed that says, "Our onion rings have onions in them."
No.
These are almost as bad as what Scott thinks in the shower.
But cleaner.
Cleaner. Oh, okay. All right. I wonder if you can get a large smoothie in a small cup.
I want to see that one happen. While they're holding the cup.
Oh, okay. Okay. Michelle, do you have any vegetarian coffee?
Only on Friday.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, I just had one of these yesterday, and I did have to ask him, why is your iced coffee cold?
That's scary.
Oh, okay. I wonder if you take the tomato out of tomato basil bread. I told her it was infused. She asked me to defuse it.
You can't. It's the bomb.
Okay. And then the last one is, Scott, can you tell me how big our gallon jugs are?
They're really big. Nearly a gallon. All right. I've got one here just in time for Father's Day. Manly smells.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, don't forget, Father's Day is Sunday. And if you want Dad to, get in all the manly smells he can, I take him to the hardware store. It's full of manly smells. Cut wood. Another manly smell, at least for the older guys, shoe polish, cut grass, sawdust, gunpowder. There's a manly smell.
I like that one.
I think Axe should come out with that in a new spray, gunpowder spray.
Yeah, but they have to make it so that the can makes the sound effect when you spray it on, like kapow.
And then be sure to put it on before you go through TSA.
Yeah.
Guy smells like gunpowder. Search him. All right, the original Old Spice. It's a little too spicy for me. Another manly smell, campfires. barbershops, and you can't get any more manly smelling than pipe smoke. Never seen a woman smoke a pipe. I'm sure it's happened, though. Leather, all right. Manly smell that you might not like, Grandpa's chair.
It's right up there with Grandpa's slippers.
Charcoal. And a manly smell you're not going to be able to enjoy in Chewela anymore, bowling alley.
Ooh, but you're wrong.
What?
Somebody took that over.
Really?
They did.
Yeah,
They
the
did.
people that run the bowling alley in Colville.
That is wonderful. That was wonderful.
Yeah,
All right.
and they're going to be open all summer,
Oh, good.
which it normally wasn't open in the summer, from what I understand.
Well,
And
the city
there
council
are-
was lucky then, because I was going to come down on them hard for getting rid of the bowling alley.
Oh, no.
All right. All right. That's very cool. So is it already opened back up, or is it?
It
closed?
is. It is, yeah. In fact, they started, I think, on Sunday, where you could, and I don't quote me the number, but it was like for $8 you could get a pair of rental shoes and 2 games or something.
All right.
And they normally aren't open on Sunday. And they're really encouraging people to come out and have a day in the park and go over and bowl. So
Well, that is super awesome. I'm going to have to post that around and let people know, because I know that some of the high school kids were looking for something to do, and they went in there during I guess before they had reopened it, and everyone was really upset that it was closed.
yeah, no, I saw that. I can't remember where I saw the posting. Maybe it was on Facebook. But because I haven't got the Independent yet. But yeah, no, that was kind of the big news this week.
Very cool. You should have shared that in the beginning, Mike.
Well, I fire me.
All right. And a special sound effect for you bowlers out there.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Yes, that's perfect. All right, we move on to that part of the show where we wrap things up with the stupidest things we could find on the internet. We call it Odd News.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your Odd News on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, we always start things off with the news attack, where the first part is a statement that's true, and the second part is a really, really bad joke. Michelle Williams kicks us off.
All right. I read a survey the other day that found parents in Alaska have to tell their kids to play outside the most. Maybe because their kids know there are bears in Alaska? Possibility.
Also really, really cold.
Right. Cold bears.
Cold bears.
Yeah.
Mike.
Cold bears. Okay, researchers figured out the exact number of hours you can be sedentary during the day before you increase your risk of developing cardiac problems.
Okay,
10
how long?
hours. 10 hours.
All right.
That sounds to me like a study that was funded by Netflix.
You can binge watch, 5 shows right then? Maybe 10?
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't heard, researchers figured out the exact number of hours you can be sedentary during the day before you increase your risk of developing cardiac problems. It's 10 hours. Yeah, it's interesting, but before I make any big lifestyle changes, I'm going to have to sleep on it.
Oh, boy.
All right.
I'm going to go back to
Another
bears.
story.
So, Scott, have you been picked up for wandering around town in the middle of the night yet?
No, I haven't. Why?
I'm just curious if your habits are changing.
Yeah. Waiting. Michelle.
All right. A bear that had become far too accustomed to eating human food had to be euthanized after it burst into a tent full of campers at Great Smoky Mountains National Park. If he would have just used his manners and gone through the tent's drive-thru, this probably wouldn't have happened.
I saw that in a movie.
You did?
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Well, I got another study talking about dish rags.
Okay.
I wonder who funded this.
Olive.
Anyway, 20 of 100 dish rags carry germs that cause food poisoning, skin ailments, and more. No problem with dirty dish rags in our house. The kitchen is a place where we unpack our McDonald's bag.
Save the dishes. Eat out. As of today, Wednesday, Microsoft will no longer support its 27-year-old web browser, Internet Explorer. Sounds like my life. After age 27, my parents pulled the plug on support for me, too.
Can't say I'm sad to see it go.
Does anybody use the new Edge browser? Just raise your hand if you
actually,
use it.
I do for college and stuff like that. So.
Do you have to use it?
I don't have to, but it's on my computer, and it's like it always works. I don't know.
Oh,
really? See, I keep Xing mine out.
Me too. And then every time you get an update, they turn it back on.
And part of that is my Microsoft phobia.
Oh, wow.
The more I do that they want me to do, the more problems I have with what I have.
Michelle, I think the next one's yours.
All right. As of today, Wednesday. Oh, no, you already did that one. In a survey, 73% of online shoppers said they felt a sense of anxiety when their package was delayed. Kids, I'm going to need you to go over to the neighbor's house for a bit. Your dad's Amazon delivery of shop towels hasn't arrived, and he's feeling like he could use the bad words.
I want my shop towels.
Okay, Scott.
Like
which
George
one of
Carlin
these
right
next
now.
two do you want to do, or are we just going to skip them?
I think it's kind of fun.
Okay.
I just want to say it.
Okay. All right. Well, in a survey of shoppers, they find the most embarrassing thing we can put in our cart is...
Yes?
Prophylactics.
I was going to help you with that.
Chicken. What's second?
Second is oat milk.
All right. Survey of shoppers in my neighborhood find the most embarrassing thing we can put in our cart is condoms. The second is decaf coffee. Makes you look really bad if you're drinking decaf, like you got a problem.
Yeah, see, my neighborhood's more highbrow. Your neighborhood's more lowbrow.
Yeah. I did move up north.
It's enough of the browbeating, boys.
See, this is a Thursday morning
joke. All right. I just wanted to hear you say the word, and then you changed it, but okay.
I was waiting for it.
All right.
I knew he was going to say it.
I just wanted to disappoint you.
You did. Let's move on to the wonderful world of wacky but true. We don't put any stupid jokes onto these. They're all self-contained, but we may add a sound effect. And let's see. I think it's you again, Michelle.
All righty. So, passengers awaiting their train at a station in Glasgow, Scotland, were joined by an unlikely traveler on Monday, a young bull. The animal, who had wandered onto the platform thanks to some loose fencing, appeared to look at the train schedule while standing under a shelter. The bull soon walked back over to where it came from. A railway spokesperson told local media, "Our attempts to communicate with the bull seemed to go in one ear and out the other. Thankfully, it didn't stop any trains from moving, and after a short time, the bull hoofed it out of the station back to its field."
Aww.
I'm impressed you got all the way through that.
Right. Well, my only complication was that someone should let this trains person know that bulls don't have udders.
I know what they do have, though.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
That's right. All right, Mr. Bentz, you're up.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Romanian man whose name was changed by his adopted parents, tried to change it back so God would recognize him on Judgment Day.
Aww.
The 70-year-old needed the local authorities to make up their mind about his name change.
Oh, and here's what the guy at the city office had to say to him.
I'm just afraid that you're going to burn in hell for us.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, it's the only sound effect I could find. That fit. Don't change your name. All right. It's bad enough being named Karen, but when you're an alligator, it's even worse. Man in Michigan. I feel so sorry for anybody named Karen after all the Karen jokes. A man in Michigan was arrested after allegedly fleeing from a traffic stop, but the sheriff's department says his passenger, Karen, is not facing any charges after trying to leave the scene. That's because Karen is an alligator who was sitting inside the car during the chase. Happened on Saturday in Lake County when a patrol sergeant saw a vehicle traveling at high speed and tried to pull the driver over. The driver fled his car, and law enforcement were led on a brief car chase. 40-year-old driver, the driver's car ended up stuck between two trees, and he was arrested. Well, the driver was taken into custody. The alligator, Karen, attempted to flee the scene. However, after a short scuffle, deputies apprehended her. The department said, "We believe she was an unwilling participant during the incident, nor do we believe she was ever in control of the vehicle." At later that day, an unveiling. Stand by.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present, for your intellectual and philosophical pleasure, the creature.
Strangely enough, that's how I'm introduced whenever I go on stage.
You're a good creature.
Yes, Michelle?
I said you're a good creature, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, we're going to move straight from alligators and right into Florida. Appropriate.
We're back.
In Florida, police pulled a man over for erratic driving. After pulling him over, they noticed the man's pants were pulled all the way down. The man told police he did that because he'd been drinking and didn't want to urinate in his pants.
Oh, Mike. Check this out.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Oh, sure. Then you give me the crazy squirrel.
Yes, please.
In a German town, a squirrel jumped through the living room window and bit a woman. Oh, must have been a flying squirrel. With the squirrel hanging on by its teeth, the woman ran out of the street where she managed to shake off the animal. Just think of that visual. The squirrel then bit a man before fleeing into a nearby garden where it bit a 72-year-old man named Mike, who eventually killed it with his cane.
See, Mike? Ha! Ha! You killed the squirrel. Oh, my God.
Oh, but then I had it for dinner. Does that count?
Yeah. That's not funny. Down south, they eat squirrel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do in Maine, too, because they have big ones.
Yes. All right. Let's go. I've got some live footage.
There's squirrels in my pants! Wow. She had actual squirrels in her pants.
Sorry. Sorry. Now I'm hearing that other sound effect in my head.
I'm just afraid that you're going to burn in hell, Frost.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Northern Lights Public Radio today and enjoying the morning show, our nonprofit roundup with Mr. Mike Benson. We'll give him another round of applause. Our queen at the studios of KCHW, Michelle Williams.
The sun just hit her and she had a halo. Did you see that?
No, I did. Wow. One of the benefits of watching online. All right. And then myself, Scott Allen. All right. Tomorrow, it's those three weirdos, Chuck Ritchie, Alan Milani, and myself. We call ourselves the Three Amigos. And we will have a Lowbrow Thursday all geared up for you tomorrow if you want to have some fun. Tune in right here, 102.7 FM on your radio dial. Of course, always on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Other than that, Mike, I want you to close out. Give another tease for the superintendent. I know this was really important for him to give out.
Yeah, this is really important. This evening, there's a special meeting at 6 o'clock at the district office. They're going to discuss look for evidence and comments for and against the property, the old middle school at West Lincoln. They're looking at selling it. So they want your opinion.
All right. Like we
and
said,
as you pointed out earlier, if you don't show up, it's awful hard to have an opinion.
That's right. You can't grumble later if you don't like what they do.
Right. Exactly.
All right. All right. Have a great day. Keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. Thank you very much for being here.